Good afternoon to you all. Today we are going to discuss part 2 of CNS. First topic is anxiolytics and hypnotics, under which we are going to discuss some terms like sedative, hypnosis or hypnotics, anxiety. Sedative. Sedative is a drug that produces a calming or quietening effect and reduces excitement without inducing sleep. Hypnosis means a sleep resembling natural sleep. Hypnotic is a drug that induces sleep resembling natural sleep. Anxiety. It is an adaptive response which prepares a person to face the challenges of life characterized by psychological symptoms like tension, fear, apprehension, lack of concentration, etc., as well as by sympathetic and somatic symptoms like tachycardia, tremors, sweating, GIT disturbances, etc. Fatigue and sleep disturbances are also. The difference between an anxiolytic, sedative, and hypnotic is generally quantitative, representing different grades of CNS depression, which can be shown as follows: relief of anxiety, disinhibition, sedation, hypnosis, anesthesia, coma, and ultimately death. Now, coming to this diagram, which represents dose response curve demonstrating the relationships between dosage of benzodiazepines and barbiturates and their CNS depressant effects. In this diagram, different rates of CNS depression has been shown depending upon the dose of the respective CNS depressant drugs. First is anxiolysis and disinhibition, to which drug clinical response is anticonvulsants and muscle relaxant activity. Thereafter comes hypnosis. Third stage is general anesthesia. Fourth is medullary depression. And last one is coma. This graph represents the benzodiazepines have a higher therapeutic index than barbiturates. So benzodiazepine safety profile is much better than barbiturates. Now coming to the topic, classifications of anxiolytics and hypnotics. First topic is benzodiazepine. This is the most important group with multifarious usage and may be divided according to their duration of action. Short acting, intermediate acting, and long acting. Examples of short acting benzodiazepines are prazolam, oxazepam, and midazolam. And that of intermediate acting benzodiazepines are alprazolam, estazolam, temazepam, lorazepam, and nitrazepam. Long-acting benzodiazepines are diazepam, flurazepam, clonazepam, and chlordiazepoxide. Coming to the second point, non-benzodiazepine hypnosis. Examples of drugs are zolpidem, delpolone, zopiclone, S-Jopi. Coming to the third point, a typical anxiolytics, examples being buspirone, ipsapirone, and gapirone. Fourth point is beta adrenoceptor antagonists, example being propranolol. And fifth point is barbiturates. These are anxiolytic sedatives, but now seldom used due to better and safe drugs availability like benzodiazepines and a typical hypnotic sedative. Nowadays, they are used in anesthesia for induction of general anesthesia and sometimes in the treatment of epilepsy acute episode. Barbiturates are broadly classified as long-acting barbiturates, short-acting, and ultra-short-acting. Example of long-acting barbiturates are phenobarbital and mefobarbital. That of short-acting barbiturates, pentobarbital or amobarbital. And examples of ultra short acting barbiturates are thiopentone sodium and methohexital. Next topic is miscellaneous group that contains melatonin, rameltion, diclofos, hydroxyzine, promethazine. Earlier drugs such as chloral hydrate, meprobamate, methaqualone, and perhaldehyde are now no longer used. Now we are going to discuss benzodiazepines. Coming to the pharmacological actions of benzodiazepines, which are sedation and hypnosis, reduction in anxiety, anesthesia, muscle relaxation, anticonvulsant effects, amnesia, which is mainly anterograde type. Now come to this flow diagram, which shows different sites of action of benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines in low dose has depressant action on limbic system, which regulates thoughts and mental, and effect is anxiolytic. Again, second, it has little effect on the midbrain ascending reticular activating systems, which is responsible for wakefulness. So there is no or little sedation hypnosis produced by benzodiazepines. Third effect is on cerebellum, which produces ataxia. Again, benzodiazepines acts on the medullary site of action, which is supraspinal in regions, by inhibiting spinal polysynaptic reflexes, and the result is muscle relaxation. Benzodiazepines in higher dose produces two different types of effect. First, again on acting on the medullary site of action to produce muscle relaxation, and other, it depresses reticular activating system too, as well as limbic system. Now coming to the mechanism of action of benzodiazepines. Normally a balance between excitatory inputs, mostly glutamatergic, and the inhibitory inputs, mainly GABAergic, determines the level of neuronal activity in limbic system and reticular activating system of the brain. When the balance swings in favor of GABA, nervousness and anxiety are reduced, while sedation, amnesia, muscle relaxation, and ataxia appear. But if GABAergic activity is decreased, then arousal, anxiety, insomnia, and restlessness are noticed. Now coming to the next topic, GABA receptors, on which neuroinhibitory neurotransmitters GABA acts. GABA receptors are of two types, GABA A and GABA B. GABA A receptor is a pentameric structure consisting of 2 alpha, 2 beta, and 1 gamma subunit. It is associated with intermingled chloride ion channel. Coming to the GABA B receptors, it is a heterodimer of GABA B1 and GABA B2 subunits. It is a G protein coupled GABA B receptor. The stimulation of this receptor causes decrease in cyclic AMP, and its effects are inhibition of calcium ion channel opening and increase in potassium ion conductance. Now coming to this diagram, which is a structure of GABA receptors chloride ion channel complex having different sites for binding with different drugs whether agonists, antagonists, or inverse agonists. Look at this diagram. GABA receptor consists of 5 subunits, 2 beta, 2 alpha, and 1 gamma subunit. GABA binding site is in between alpha and beta receptors, and agonists of GABA receptor is muscimol, whereas antagonist is biquiculin. Again, other binding sites of GABA receptor is allosteric site or modulatory sites or benzodiazepines, and these receptors are present at the junction of alpha and gamma subunits of GABA receptors. And other receptors on these sites are flumazenil, which is antagonist, and inverse agonist beta carbolin. So there are 3 different types of binding sites for benzodiazepines: antagonist flumazenil and inverse agonist beta carbolins, which are located at the junction of alpha and gamma subunits. Other binding sites are chloride ion channel modulators and inhibitors. Modulators of chloride ion channels are barbiturates and neurosteroids like ganaxolone, whereas inhibitor of chloride ion channel is picrotoxin. Other drugs of binding sites of alpha subunit are zolpidem, zopicolone, and gelplone. GABA A receptor has several different binding sites, which has been just shown in the preceding diagram. These are the neurotransmitter GABA binding site at the junction of alpha and beta subunit, the modulatory or allosteric sites which bind benzodiazepines, their antagonist like flumazenil, and inverse agonist beta carbolin at the junction of alpha and gamma subunit. Modulatory and blocking sites at chloride ion channels. Examples are barbiturates and neurosteroids. Ganaxolone have modulatory effects. Picrotoxin blocks chloride ion channel, directly act on the chloride ion channel. Muscimol is an agonist, while bicuculin is an antagonist of GABA binding sites of GABA A receptor. Binding sites at alpha subunit of GABA A receptor bind with zolpidem, zopicolone, and gelplone. GABA B receptors agonist being baclofen, and antagonist of GABA B receptors is taclofen. Now coming to the next topic, pharmacokinetics of benzodiazepines. There are differences in pharmacokinetic properties of different benzodiazepines due to differences in lipid solubility. Except midazolam given intravenously or intramuscularly, all can be given orally. Diazepam, oxazepam, and chlordiazepoxides are more than 90% protein bound. All benzodiazepines undergo phase 1 metabolism to produce inactive metabolites and active metabolites, and these active metabolites undergo phase 2 metabolites to produce inactive compounds, and inactive compounds of phase 1 metabolism or phase 2 metabolism are excreted in the body. Half-life varies among different benzodiazepines. Now coming to the drug-drug interaction of benzodiazepines. All drugs that produce CNS depression enhance the effects of sedative hypnotics. Examples are alcohol, opiate, analgesics, antipsychotics, antiepileptics, antidepressants, and sedative antihistaminics. Coming to the next point, microsomal enzyme inhibitors like ketoconazole, omeprazole, erythromycin prolong the half-life of benzodiazepines. Smoking decreases the activity of benzodiazepines. Aminophylline antagonizes the sedative effects of benzodiazepines. Now coming to the adverse effects of benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines are generally well tolerated and are fairly safe drugs. The common side effects include drowsiness, confusion, dizziness, amnesia, lethargy, weakness, headache, blurred vision, ataxia, disorientation, daytime sedation, worsening of sleep apnea. Impaired motor coordination and driving skills are other side effects. Hypotonia and respiratory depression in the neonate when mother has consumed benzodiazepines before labor period is other side effect. In some patients, paradoxical irritability and anxiety may occur rarely, especially with flurazepam. Date rape with flunitrazepam due to its tasteless property and sedative amnestic effects in sexual assaults to escape judicial punishment for the sexual assault. So it has been misused to obliterate memory of events to escape judicial punishment for the sexual assault. Now coming to the next topic, acute overdose of benzodiazepines and their treatment. Overdosage of benzodiazepine is quite common due to the extensive use and relatively easy availability of this group of drugs. They induce sleep, but the respiratory depression is mild and hence are fairly safe drugs. But whenever respiratory depression occurs or when patient becomes in coma due to overdosage, either due to overdosage of benzodiazepines or even fast IV intravenous injection of benzodiazepine like diazepam produces respiratory depression even in therapeutic. Treatment of acute overdosage or dosage which has produced respiratory depression or deep sleep is as follows. Keep the patient on ventilators when required. Maintenance of BP, Flumazenil Dismal 5 mg IV or Dismal 2 mg per minute IV, maximum 5 mg till patient regains consciousness. Hemodialysis or hemoperfusion is needed in some cases. Maintenance of fluid and IV fluid and electrolytes according to needs. Now coming to the next topic, therapeutic usage of benzodiazepines. These are insomnia as an anti-anxiety drugs, as anti-convulsant drugs, as muscle relaxants, as pre-anesthetic medication, especially midazolam or diazepam. General anesthesia IV midazolam or diazepam. During alcohol withdrawal and initial control of mania, diazepam is used. Now coming to the next topic of anxiolytic and hypnotic drug classification. It is non-benzodiazepine hypnotic. Before describing non-benzodiazepine hypnotics, it is essential to know about types of benzodiazepine receptors. Benzodiazepine receptor is of two types, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 benzodiazepine receptors are distributed throughout the brain but largely in the cerebellum, whereas type 2 receptor is distributed in the cerebral cortex, hippocampus, and spinal cord. Stimulation of type 1 benzodiazepine receptor produces anti-anxiety, sedative, and hypnotic effects, whereas stimulation of type 2 benzodiazepine receptor produces muscle relaxant, anticonvulsant, and amnestic effects. Examples of drugs acting on the benzodiazepine type 1 receptors are zolpidem, zalpolone, zopiclone, S-zopiclone. An example of drugs that act on the type 2 benzodiazepine receptors is clobazam. Now coming to the next point of anxiolytic and hypnotic drug classification. It is atypical anxiolytics. Examples of atypical anxiolytics are buspirone, ipsapirone, and gapirone. Mechanism of action: they have partial agonistic action on non-GABAergic 5-HT1A receptors by selective activation of the inhibitory presynaptic 5-HT1A receptors. They suppress 5-HT neurotransmission through neuronal system. Therapeutic usage of atypical anxiolytics: anti-anxiety effect is observed only after 2 weeks of starting of treatment. These drugs have no muscle relaxant, anticonvulsant, and hypnotic action. Side effects of atypical anxiolytics are tachycardia, nervousness, GIT distress, paresthesia, dose-dependent pupillary constriction. Buspirone dose being 5 to 10 mg orally thrice a day. Now coming to the next topic of anxiolytic and hypnotic classification. It is beta blockers. Examples of beta blockers used in anxiety and anti-anxiety and hypnotics are propranolol. It blocks beta 1 receptors and so decreases sympathetic overactivity and corrects palpitation, hypertension, etc. Now coming to the next topic, barbiturates. Barbiturates are derivatives of barbituric acid. They are non-selective CNS depressants and act at many sites, ascending reticular activating systems being the main site. Mechanism of action of barbiturates. This flow diagram shows different steps of action of barbiturates. Barbiturates bind to the GABA A receptor chloride ion channel complex, different from benzodiazepine binding allosteric site. After binding, they prolong duration of chloride ion channel opening by potentiating inhibitory effects of GABA in low therapeutic dose. Increased chloride ion conductance occurs that causes membrane hyperpolarization that will lead to CNS depression. So it is GABA mimetic effect. But barbiturates have also direct effect when given in higher dose. Higher concentration barbiturates directly open chloride ion channel even in absence of GABA and increases chloride ion conductance and again membrane hyperpolarization followed by CNS depletion. Now coming to the next topic of pharmacological action of barbiturates. The ultra-short and short-acting barbiturates exhibit dose-dependent CNS depressant actions starting from sedation, hypnosis, general anesthesia, coma, and death. These drugs disrupt the balance between REM and non-REM sleep by decreasing the duration of REM sleep. So, on withdrawal, there is rebound increase in REM sleep duration, resulting into bad dreams and nightmares, and a feeling that I did not sleep well. It shows hyperalgesic action and amnesia is associated with drug automatism. In higher dosage, they decrease blood pressure, heart rate, and depresses myocardium, depresses respiration, and cause shallow breathing and tiny strokes in breathing. Pulmonary edema, laryngeal edema, and bronchial pneumonia may occur. Relaxant effect on GIT, bladder, uterus, and kidneys due to decrease in renal blood flow, increase in ADS secretion, and relaxation of bladder. Enzyme induction is other main action of barbiturate. Coming to the next topic, therapeutic usage of barbiturate as sedative, hypnotics. They are not used nowadays. They are used in anesthesia as anticonvulsants and to treat hyperbilirubinemia as in neonatal jaundice. Adverse effects of barbiturates. These are tolerance due to enzyme induction, psychic and physical dependence, drug automatism causes hangover, impairment of judgment, respiratory depression, the other side effect. Now coming to the next topic of barbiturates, that is drug interaction. Barbiturates decrease the effectiveness of many simultaneously used drugs due to induction of their metabolism, example being oral contraceptive, anticoagulants, tolbutamide, and theophylline. Contraindications of barbiturates: they are liver dysfunction, kidney disease, severe pulmonary insufficiency like emphysema. Porphyria: barbiturates induce ALA synthetase in mitochondria that leads to increased synthesis of porphyrin, which will further worsen the porphyria and neurotoxicity. Now coming to the next point, acute toxicity of barbiturates. Barbiturates poisoning is mostly suicidal, rarely accidental. It is characterized by respiratory failure, cardiovascular collapse due to excessive fall in blood pressure and heart rate, coma, and renal failure. Treatment of acute toxicity of barbiturates include maintenance of airway, BP, and renal function, gastric lavage followed by active charcoal intake, injection sodium bicarbonate IV, injection 20% menthol IV infusions, maintenance of fluid and electrolyte balance by giving a specific IV infusions and drugs, hemodialysis. Now coming to the next topic, miscellaneous anti-anxiety drugs. A number of miscellaneous drugs have been used as alternative to the benzodiazepines, although there is no convincing evidence of their special value in these conditions. Even their molecular mechanism of anxiolytic and hypnotic effect is not yet clear. These drugs are melatonin, rameltion, triclophos, hydroxygen, and promethazine. Melatonin is a hormone produced by pineal gland from the amino acid tryptophan. It is responsible for dark coloration of skin as well as it maintains circadian rhythm of sleep. Increased secretion of melatonin during darkness, while light stimulates retina and transmits signal through suprachiasmatic nucleus of hypothalamus to pineal gland to inhibit release of melatonin. It has two types of receptors, melatonin 1 receptors and melatonin 2 receptors. Melatonin and rameltion act on both types of receptors and used in insomnia with difficulty in first phase of sleep. Dose of melatonin 2 to 10 mg orally at night before going to bed. Dose of rameltion maximum daily oral dose before going to bed at night should not exceed 8 mg. Side effects of rameltion: it increases prolactin levels but decreases testosterone levels and produces fatigue, dizziness, and somnolence. Now coming to the next drug of miscellaneous group, triclophos. It is a prodrug which is metabolized to active form trichloroethanol. It is very palatable and better tolerated. Onset of action within 30 minutes and its duration of action is 8 to 12 hours. Therapeutic usage of triclophos: short-term management of insomnia. For children before performing EEG, it is given at bedtime at night and EEG is done next day. As sedative during events of recurrent colic in children. Dose of triclophos 500 mg to 1 gram at bedtime orally. Coming to the next drug, hydroxygen, which is an antihistamine having antiemetic, sedative, anticholinergic, and local anesthetic action. Its active metabolite is cetirizine. Therapeutic indications of hydroxygen are pre-anesthetic sedation, pruritus, short-term management of anxiety. Onset of action is within 15 to 30 minutes and its duration of action is 6 hours. Dose being 50 to 100 mg thrice daily orally. Now coming to the next drug, promethazine, belonging to miscellaneous. It is also sedating antihistamine with antiemetic and anticholinergic properties. Duration of action 10 to 12 hours. Adult dose is 25 mg orally at bedtime and pediatric dose is 10 mg orally at bedtime. However, nowadays use of triclophos, hydroxygen, and promethazine as sedative, hypnotic, and anti-anxiety is not justified due to availability of better safe drugs. Thank you.